What is the best way for FDs to help owners plan for exit?
Yeah, I mean, just exactly what I was just saying there. I think it's an early engagement for a start.
Mhm.
Once there's a plan, and we're working out what they actually, having a really, starting point is actually have that realistic discussion I said about the value. So understanding if you've been involved in valuing business, finding you think you can have a sensible discussion with your clients about that's fine. If not, get some advice into actually, because the worst thing is when somebody thinks it is worth 10 million and it's only really worth five.
Mm.
That early discussion. Then from that, work out, what the timetable is to exit, and then it's getting into the granular detail. So as an FD in the business, too many transactions, you get to the end of the transaction and you find the management information isn't good enough. There's contract hasn't been renewed. There's a lot of stuff there, all that granular detail, that really boring stuff that may well come back to bite businesses. And if there's some time to put all that right, it really helps the process. I mean, and if businesses have never done forecasting, for example, people, why would someone rely on the forecast just for the sale process? Because you've got no track record in
Yeah.
forecasting. If you go into the private equity market, you need really good, well, good quality management information. But yeah, the boring stuff, contracts, employees, contracts, all that stuff you within the data room, just making sure you've collected and you know where all the information is, put a data room together and engage with advisors on all different colours who get involved in transactions early to get them and then work together as a team.